Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Hearts of Iron 4 tutorial series as Nazi Germany. So in the last video we went over and quickly explained all of the UI and other things. So in today's video, we are going to be explaining some more concepts such as deployment, and actually, let's explain this mechanic real quick. So when you research certain objects, eventually things that are in your production tab will become outdated. You'll know this is the case because the game will tell you a notification saying, okay, the Zenstor 1931 class, Zistrom. So we now look for that exact thing. It's saying this one, before class is outdated. So it's saying that these three are now outdated. So we can replace them or we delete them. Yeah, so these are outdated now. So if, oh I know, this guy is the outdated. Is this the outdated one? Yeah, you're the outdated one. Wait, no, yeah, you're the outdated one. We need to replace you with a more indated one. There you go. And now it's gonna go away because we have now just updated it. But for something like infantry equipment, it will highlight like that. That's the one that needs to be done. So anyway, now we're gonna go Ribbentrop. Currently at 45,000. Okay. So now we're gonna continue down our path. If you've been following everything as requested, now we're going to befriend Japan. Now with that the case, we have some decisions we can do. Just continuously work on this one. And we are now going... Can we invite Italy to the Axis yet? I don't know. Do you not like us? Refuse to join our faction, they will crumble alone. Alright, so now our next job is to just simply work on getting... you see, we are now slowly running out of equipment. We now have 32,000 on the field, which means we can now... We need 500,000, okay. So in order for us to do the rest of this, we need to build up an army. So we're just going to work on that. Are you the five? Yeah, you guys are the 5 tanks. Just continue working. You can stop. You can stop. You can stop. And stop. And you can stop. Because you guys have already done enough. You guys have leveled up a little bit. Now we'll just let you rest. Don't forget to always check supply to make sure all your supply is good. And now waiting game begins. Now we should actually get some just standard infantry as well. Probably put them in Westfalen? Hanover. We're going to put them in Hanover. Division of... Let's do... Division of 10. Do that. And it's saying, well, we need some support equipment. Which is decent, but we'll have those in production. Actually... Give me a quick second. I'm going to do something quickly. Okay, so what I quickly did was to install a cheat mod just so this can go a little bit faster. So I just did this real quick so that we could actually do some content. But do note that we are going to try and only do this just so we can quickly get troops out and to explain the wars. But we are not going to actively be using this. Because that would make the game not fun anymore. So we're almost at 500k. We're going to pump up the speed a little bit. And it's now time for us to begin. So what we're going to do is we are going to do in this video, hopefully, we are going to do these focuses about here, as you can see with my mouse. So we should about end with the fate of Yugoslavia, and the fate of Czechoslovakia. Which, in order to do these, we need to have 7.
Angetreten.
Which we should get soon with this cheat mod. Like that. We should now have about we have 1 million on the field, which is great. We don't have to worry about that. And now we are going to do Engschloss, which is, you know, pretty good. By the way, I'm going to turn off this, yeah, I'm going to disable this cheat now. I'm going to keep insane equipment, but we're now going to not use the army. Okay, we're going to use level 2 lands because it just gives us a bit of a bonus. Just because ultimately the point of this mod is to... Some medium tank. We don't need that right now. And now we have low manpower. You see, when you get to a certain point, you'll have very low amount of manpower. The game will tell you, hey, you have low amount of manpower. So we'll do extensive equipment, and that should fix our issue. Now that we have this, we should, we'll slowly start our... So you see, we now have a good amount of troops, a lot of panzers, a lot of soldiers as well. So we're going to get ourselves around the border of both Czechoslovakia and... Okay, so now what's going to happen is squeeze on them. Is now we're going to now surround Prague. The reasoning is, fun fact, if you surround the artificial intelligence, a lot of time they will take into demands. Because what happens... So I'm going to pause real quick, we're going to explain. So we are doing what is pretty much demands, and it's the same thing over here with the Molotov. Actually, we should focus on that. Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact. It'll make it easier for us to do certain things. But pretty much something like Engschloss, as you saw, it gave us... We have some factories. Let me quickly add the factories, and we'll put them again with the improved chassis. Here you go. But pretty much, you saw we annexed all of Austria. Because they willingly submitted to us, we're not going to have any resistance. But pretty much, now we can demand a bunch of claims. Because you want to do this, because... what's it called? Because this will give us free land, which will help us ultimately in our coming war. Which is with France and whatnot. So, what you always want to do is you want to build up your army. You want about 1 million on the field by the time you get Engschloss. The reasoning is because you really want to quickly blitzkrieg France and Poland so that you can easily just focus on the UK. Which we will eventually explain naval invasions and whatnot, so when the time comes... we will get there. Oh, and if you have a certain DLC, the Spanish Civil War will be more than just fascists versus communists. I'm not supporting them, so normally you're supposed to intervene also in the early game, send some troops over, whatnot, but I think they'll be fine. It'll be interesting to see a non-fascist Spain. If they lose. So what we're doing is the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact. That pretty much just means that when we take Poland, the eastern part, so like Wojak, Wilno, Novgorod, Polisny, Lavao, Wow, and Stanislav. They're all taken and given to the Soviet Union. We take the East so that Eastern Prussia is no longer separated. We can also demand Memel eventually. And we can demand Czechoslovakia give us Sudetenland. Oh, okay. Oh, I didn't even realize we were at 30 speed. Okay, so a new faction has just been formed. So at a certain point, all of the Asian countries, all the Chinese countries, are going to enter an alliance because Japan is about to invade them. They're two puppets. So they're kind of collectively agreeing to align themselves just long enough to where they can fend off the Japanese. That's pretty much what that means. That will happen every single time unless you're playing China and do something else. So yeah. That's the shebang, shaboom. We're going to just speed up a little bit time. Just for the fun of it. Because ultimately we want... Right, we can also pressure countries like Romania into becoming fascist, which we will do. Alright, now that if they accept, while they accept, now we can do the alliance. But first we are going to demand Sudetenland, which is this territory right here in Czechoslovakia. Because historically, it was asked because, well, there was claims of, you know, hey, okay, now I'm going to just cancel production. So because it's gonna, I think it's actively pumping troops out. It's actively pumping troops out, and we don't want that. We're gonna just click those. You just hold shift, and you can right a multiple, and you can then add them down here. So yeah, when you have a troop, that's just when you put out a troop, just go down here and click the plus to make a new division set. I realized I forgot to explain that, and now Japan has declared war on China. So once, yep. Now, depending on what happens, either China is going to push Japan out, or at least push, or they're going to lose. Okay, so it says there's no Munich conference, and Sudetenland is now ours, which is great for us as we get all of their all of their factories. Now we're going to ally ourselves with the USSR. The reasoning you want to do this tree, this short tree, is other than the fact you get a lot of bonuses for your military, is if you are able to successfully get an alliance with them, you can puppet Turkey. You can ultimately puppet Turkey. And it says ultimately the Kingdom of Greece must be. Also, if you do get this, our faction is renamed to, I think, the Berlin-Moscow faction. Yep, that's what happens if it's successful. That is, of course. If it's not successful, then, of course, it's not named anything. Because, well, the Soviets declined, and such, we are now aligned with them. Pretty self-explanatory. Always focus on getting these stuff up. Just because... it will ultimately help us in the end. I don't think I've ever had them agree outside of a multiplayer game. So, we'll see what happens. Ultimately, if they do align with us, that makes this game a lot more easier because ultimately the Soviet Union is your greatest threat as Germany once you kick out France. And technically the UK... The UK isn't actually really good at this point because they don't have any reason to be. We're going to reassert Eastern claims. That means we gain claims against these nations. And I believe we demand Mimel in the same claim. Yes, we will demand Mimel. And if they agree, we get Mimel. If they don't agree, well then... it's a bit of an issue for them, at least. Speeding up time a little bit. Generally, you want to play at about 5 speed, but when you're in the wars, you want to slow it down a bit, so you have an understanding. Yeah. We should add a fascist demidog. So that will balance out the fact that we are slowly getting more communism because of the Soviet-German friendship. So we're gonna once again demand some claims. Mempho bill. Research Eastern claims. Lithuania folds, so now Mimel is a part of us. Oh, oh my god, they actually accepted. I didn't even register that. They accepted, which is really funny. So now we are in an alliance with the Soviet Union. Which is... oh, no! Oh, bastards. Czechoslovakia is now within the Allies. But I'm pretty sure fate of Czechoslovakia allows us to just take it. Because they're not actually being to call it supported by anyone. So just a little bit of funny and Bulgaria. Really, Bulgaria? You're improving relations, so you're going the fascist route. Gamer. Alright, so slightly cursed, but that means when we take Polin, we should have a much easier time taking it, thanks to the Soviet Union. And of course, we can take Denmark then. And then from Denmark, we could take Sweden. Or... I believe you can just befriend... I'm going to do the fate of Czechoslovakia. Nationalist Spain, one which means it's going to be Francisco Franco. My boy. I'm kidding though. It's not a bad person. Alright, now that we have that, you just continue down the line. You always want to do this because most times you're not going to get this exception. Right. So, we're gonna soon decide the fate of Czechoslovakia. Now, that's the fun thing about Mettler. Is the fact about Hitler, about the German Reich's folkstry, is a lot of it for World War II is literally puppet. No, I don't know why you just befriend Czechoslovakia and then go down this tree, because anyway, you're gonna have an alliance with Italy. Italy will join your alliance at some point. Oh, you can just cut. You know, let's do this. Now that we've done that. Oh, that just gives us annex. So let's demand Slovenia. So yeah, okay, we're going to invite the faction Hungary. And now we technically can invade Slovenia, but that would put us against the whole allies. Sweden is in the same faction? What the hell? We're gonna end the Menfo bill. There's no reason for us to work on it anymore. Okay, now we're going to bump this up to level 4 land. Because... yeah. So we're going to just quickly demand Slovenia. If they give it to us, that's gamer. If they don't, that's alright. We will invade Czechia. I'm trying to think who's in the allies real quick. Allies. You're all in the... Really? Okay. So we are going to quickly just build a... Don't be afraid, France. There is no reason whatsoever that we are... We get Slovenia. So, who else is in the allies? Okay, you're also in the allies, so... We're going to soon have to... You stay in Czechia. We're gonna do the second reward. This doesn't go away, by the way. This special annex. Normally your annexes go away after a while when you click on a country and you choose Justify War Goal, you can choose based off any event. Click on a section, send. It's going to cost political power and last 20 days because we have the fast justification mod. But if you don't use it after a while, it disappears. Unless it's a focused justification, meaning you get the annex goal through a focus, then it's going to stay there forever until you use it or you perish. So we are going to try and keep our communism decently good. So we simply want to see... We want to befriend these two so we can get Italy in a faction. Oh, we can't do that. We have to do, Yeah. So we're going to just wait. And we'll probably do... These focuses do take a little bit. Wow, okay. They just caved. Why? We only have 3 countries within the access through the thing. We're gonna get we're trying to get Italy to join us so that they can bear the brunt of part of the war. until we can... Is it F10 again? Oh my god, poor Romania is being just utterly bullied.
Achtung!
Okay. So we're gonna start making plans
Befehle!
on wiping out
Achtung!
everyone very quickly.
Ihre Befehle? Achtung!
So yeah, so what I just did is I just hold, and now where they were and just drew right, holding right click, drawing a line. So now the troops are going to focus on going to those locations. You always want to tell them to go near locations with the funny victory points. The reasoning is, of course, that if all of them are gone, then lines with it. Now we're going to do this reward, and then finally we will focus on the invasion. Poland. And I think ultimately that is where we'll kind of leave it off. Oh yeah, by the way, don't do like what I've done and just binge all of these. You want to be slow and also get some for your plans. Oh, we just caught a spy. I don't even have an intelligence agency. I should probably get that working. So I'll explain this in the next video, but we'll just have it built for right now. But yeah, you want to focus on the first thing you want to do is focus on the 4-year plan. Because remember, you wouldn't probably have enough troops to get to Angschluss and the rest of these, because you need to have a certain percentage. We did cheat just to make it a bit faster. So yeah, you want to focus on this and the... Yeah, we want to focus on pretty much everything. You want to have most of this almost done by the time you kind of start with this. You want true German power. Yeah. Poland's just, like, scared out of his goddamn mind. So, of course we'll take a non-aggression pact from you. The Alliance is done. Just for a quick thing, you have a bunch of... Okay, so... we are slowly, steadily going to work on stuff. Once this is done, once this is once this is done and we do all of the steps needed for it, we will Okay, well, ladies and gentlemen, I think that's enough for today. In the next video, we will begin the war. I will explain